Okay, so first of all, I will calculate the average of all of the x values. Then I'll calculate the average of all of the y values. Then I will calculate R, and this is the sum product. Array 1 is the x values minus the average of x, and array 2 is the y values minus the average of y. Then I'll calculate k, and this is the variance of x divided by the variance of y. Then I'll calculate u, and this is the deviation of the squares for all of the x values. Then I'll calculate v, and this is the deviation of the squares for all of the y values. Then I'll calculate h, and we can see this equation here for how to calculate h, and it is k times by v minus u. Then we'll calculate the slope, and we can see the equation here for how to calculate the slope. For this, I will do brackets and then divide by, and then another set of brackets. And I'll do the bottom part first. So this is going to be 2 times by k times by r. And then for the top part, I will do h plus the square root. And we need another close brackets here. And inside the square root, it's going to be h, and this needs to be squared, plus 4 times by k times by r, and then r needs to be squared. And now we have the slope. Then to calculate the intercept, that's the average of y minus the average of x times by the slope. In order to see this trend line on the chart, I'm going to create a fake data set. So I will calculate the minimum of x and then calculate the maximum of x. Then to calculate the y values, we'll use this equation here. So that's the slope times by the x value plus the intercept. And I'll make this an absolute cell reference and this an absolute cell reference. So I can drag this formula down to get the y value for the x maximum as well. Then we have this chart here, and the blue dotted line is the trend line calculated using ordinary least squares regression, and that is the default method that is used in Excel, and it assumes there's no uncertainty in the x values and all of the uncertainty is in the y values. So it tries to get the distance between the data points and the line in the y-axis as small as possible. But it doesn't take into account the distance between the data points and the line in the x-axis direction. Now this is appropriate in some cases. For example, if the x values are the time and date when a sample was collected, and then the y values are the concentrations in those samples. In that case, you know the exact times these samples were collected, so there's no uncertainty in the x values, but there is uncertainty in the y values because of the precision of your measurements. However, in some cases, an ordinary least squares regression is not going to be appropriate. For example, if the x values and the y values are the concentrations of two different compounds in the same samples, in that case, both x and y have uncertainties. In that case, you might want to use Deming regression. Deming regression works well when the uncertainties in the x values are all about the same, and the uncertainty in the y values are all about the same. We can demonstrate the effect of this by changing the x variance to be a much smaller number. And in this case, you can see the orange line moves much closer to the least squares regression trend line, because the least squared regression trend line assumes there's no uncertainty in the x values, and we've just made the x variance really small. If we increase the x variance, you can see that this orange line moves a bit. And the bigger we make this value, the larger the distance between these two lines. So the larger the uncertainty in the x-axis, the more different these two regression methods are. Now we've used a couple of different functions here which you might not be familiar with. So we'll look at SUMPRODUCT first, and I'll add in a couple of columns here. And this is calculated using this method. So we will take the x values and minus the average of x. And I'll make that an absolute cell reference and then drag this down. Then we'll do the same thing for the y values. And in this case, I need to minus the average of the y values. Then we will take these numbers and multiply them together. And then I will add up all of the numbers in this column. And you'll see that this number here is the same as this number here. So this is what SUMPRODUCT is doing. Then I'll undo this. And the next function is the deviation of the squares. So this is calculated using this method here. I'll keep the x values minus the average of x because this part is the same. Then we need to take these numbers and we need to square them. Then I will get the total of all of the numbers in this column. And we can see that this number here is the same as this number here. So that is what that function is doing. I have also taken all of these formulas and put them together in just one formula, and I will leave a copy of this in the description. Okay, so in this video I have shown you how to calculate Deming regression in Excel, and that is everything.